Just long, long days and short nights.
There it is. It actually looks good in this light. Radicals of MSU. Okay.
Is that the one I found?
Well, no. I think, there was...
I gave one to your mom.
There's a lot of letters that Pirsig
Oh, right. So I
to
can
my
tell.
folks.
I'll bet you that's one I sent you. Because the office was known there's something to Pirsig. Because that's the first thing she said, then she went on to say is because that has the effect.
It's got that geometric kind of division of space.
Well, there's the lines that keep on going through. Oh, did you know I was a sculptor?
No, I didn't.
And I'm going to put a picture of my sculpture. How about you?
Duly long overdue. Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to get a photograph on the wall here beside this.
Yep.
That should seem like it should be like under glass or something. It's kind of a hybrid, because I didn't want to be just a boring linear documentary. I really wanted to do something that was non-linear.
Route for getting in.
Right, that would kind of go back and forth and weave around, and then you have to kind of get all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it all comes together. The flash of insight, right? You have all this stuff,
All these mixed up
and
pieces.
then all mixed up pieces, and all of a sudden, I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. I forgot the mirrors. Let me go grab them. Fire break.
Anthony, we need to get all your stuff on the deal.
Must be Robert Pirsig's own Honda 305, I guess.
Yeah, 305 Superhawk.
Yeah,
And the point is that the Pirsig has it. It's still in his
still has the
possession.
original machine. He decided before his luck ran out on him and have a really bad accident, he would quit riding. And that took place soon after the 68 trip, which was written into the books in the Art of Motorcycle.
So he's not riding it, but he owns it.
Extremely close. This is a 1964 Honda CB67 Superhawk. Originally it was a 305 cc engine. This one's actually bored out to 350, so it's bored out to be a little bit bigger. But it's the same year, same make, same model as Robert Pirsig's cycle that he rode with his son in the book. And the story behind this is really incredible. It's one of these mystery of the universe things, you know. But I'm the filmmaker. I'm the one that has a premiere this afternoon at 3 o'clock.
This is a high-quality motorcycle. And the person who created it, this Mr. Honda in Japan, is a high-quality person in just lots and lots of different respects. On my website, if you go to ZMMQ website and where there are links, you'll find about halfway down all the features and story of this Mr. Honda. It's a remarkable thing to know about. Thank you.
Henry is our curator, our researcher. He knows everything about Robert Pirsig. Go to his website and you will never leave it. It is so complete. And
Sort of identified myself as the pilgrim correspondent. And you know, the reason being that I just happened to be at the house when these guys came traveling through. They traveled the route of Robert Pirsig, and you know, some people didn't take the Little John up Cottonwood Canyon, but a lot of people did. Okay, I would like to say something about, you know, I mean, your art background comes through beautifully in this film. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's probably really where I'm at home at. So why is there this discrepancy? Well, we're coming back to social values. The In 1978, when the Tate in London bought the bricks, it started a controversy.
Brick in the wall. That's it. Another brick in the wall. That's it. I'll get this with the bike in the foreground. There we are. Anthony.
Stop jumping now, then.
And yes, start jumping. That's it. Okay. And you're not going to charge us for this performance, are you?
No.
There's no charge for the performance. Okay. That's it. Performance art at its best.
I would like to begin, I would like to introduce Dr. Henry Gurr.
And part of the rule is everybody gets 5 minutes. When 4 minutes come up, a gentle reminder from a bell. And then when 5 minutes are up, then you make way for others. Henry.
Anyway, I guess what I have to say is that the first time I read Zen, or maybe even the second, I don't really remember the experience. I think the book I felt was all right. A student had given it to me, and I hope I told him that it's okay, it's safe, and has degrees of truth, but it wasn't, shall I say, earth-shaking to me at the time, not like I understand it to be now.
Decided it might be a nice idea to ask Robert Pirsig to come out and teach a class. So we talked about it a little bit, and they put together a series of postcards, which they actually mailed to him. And the postcards got held up with his publisher for about 6 months. But finally he got a hold of them, and he got back to us, politely declining that he couldn't come out because of his ill health. But from all of that resulted a plaque that has been put together, and it's being hung in the library now. It'll be dedicated next week on Thursday. So from there, one thing progressed to the other, and fast forward, we were with President Cruzado. We came up with the idea for the Chautauqua. It was 4 of us, myself, Michael, Josh, and Tina. And then President Cruzado decided that might be a good idea to award him an honorary degree. So that's where this all began.
Was education for efficiency. You laugh. But in 1984, the director of the summer sessions was Mary Sexton, and she thought, that's not a motto with quality. Mountains and mines, not education for efficiency. And it is frightening. And perhaps we shouldn't tell people that, our motto is based on a person with a mental illness. That might not help to sell the university at that level. But clearly, Robert Pirsig understood this.
The final thing I'll say is there's something, and I really like what Michael was saying, is it appropriate to have, the motto of a crazy person for a university education? And I'll go on the record and say damn straight, yes. It is appropriate and it's necessary. I'm so thankful for Pirsig for saying that, and for Michael for bringing our attention back to what he said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so you're not insane if you have these certain visions or off your rockers and you go out in the mountain and you have these, this hallucinations and all that stuff. It's culture dependent. And number one. And number two is that when you've had a great deal of stress, there is a recovery process. And that, shall we say, the standard one, I think Pirsig alludes to this, he should have been left alone as the work through it. Any person would, and we see this in soldiers have had too much, thank you very much. They called it shell shock in the Second World War, post-traumatic syndrome now from the current wars. Anyway, so I question greatly that we should label Pirsig as insane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Meridian is by all counts a honed and edited version of this flood of insight and story. Discussing the process recently with Lee, we agreed that his role has been that of a conduit for this story to unfold. So Lee has so many stories to tell, and I wish we had time to hear more of his stories, but we're gonna watch them for a little while. So, thanks. Thanks.
I just want to personally dedicate this screening to John Sutherland. You'll see him. We did an interview with him. I did an interview back in 2008, and he adds a character and a levity that I don't possess. So when it's a nice counterpoint to my pondering style. So anyway, I just want to dedicate this to John and his memory, and hope he's here in spirit.
Let's talk to Henry for a minute and see if we can take a
There we go.
There, Bonnie. What's the deal with that?
She's being artistic. Okay.
Artistic.
A low angle shot. That's a low angle shot.
Okay.
The father and son with the bike.
It's cool that you made it all the way down here for this. That's pretty bad.